The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. It is the Ron Van Dam Show. It has my name in the title, so I better do this, I suppose. Thank you so much. We have a guest today. Let's say hello to our guest. What? We don't have a guest today, so I never do. Who am I trying to kid? You. That's what I'm. Thanks for being here. For introduction purposes, I know I do this every week. I'm so sorry. For introduction purposes, I've been doing this almost all of my life. Oh my God. I've been in broadcast radio since 1990. And then I shifted and added the podcasting world in 2011, I think it was. Or 2012, I think it was. And since then, here I've been doing this in this studio for about 11 years, I think it is. I do this once a week. I do a daily, weekday radio program, both on syndicated radio and also on the podcast thing, which has become explosive. I'm on all of the platforms, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, all those Apple things, and the cherry and the strawberry things, and SoundCloud, and SoundScope, and Spotify, and 5D, and Dasha. I'm on all of those things. And that's about it. Thanks for being here. I'd like you to visit our broadcast website if you could. There, all the episodes that I've done in the past 10 years are there. That's newenglandbroadcasting.com, or you can Google my name, Ron Van Dam, or ronvandam.com, or toiletflushing.org. I have no idea. Forget the toilet flushing part. But anyway, I'm all over the place. So join me there. We've done 2,600 of these podcast episodes within themselves. So it's kind of fun. So here I am. Thank you. You're saying, well, Ron, all right, you spend the whole show saying what you've done. Do something already. Okay. What I do is I talk about things that most people don't talk about because it's ridiculous to even talk about them. But these days, there are so many seriously horrible things going on in the world. It's a little refreshing to talk about the minutia. I've got to tell you, it's kind of nice. Speaking of minutia, I don't know when you're watching this show. I have no idea. I don't know you. I don't know what you had for dinner last night. I don't think you remember either. But this coming weekend, or this weekend, or last weekend, whenever you're watching this, daylight savings time, it's time to spring forward, turn the clocks forward. Oh my God, stop confusing me. Can we do away with daylight savings time, please? They've got a standard time. Let's make it standard. Stop with this daylight savings time stuff. It confuses the hell out of me. And I don't like it when it doesn't get dark until like 8 o'clock at night or something. It's still light outside 8 o'clock. That's ridiculous. It shouldn't be light at that point. If your wife or your significant other says to you, hey, go mow the lawn, but it's 8 o'clock at night, but it's still there's still sunlight, mow the lawn. See, that's where it goes bad. And by the way, I'm not being sexist here. Isn't it funny how the woman or the spouse, depending on your initiation, you won't do things yourself, but when your spouse or significant other tells you to do it, it's a whole different thing. So you have to be prompted to do things. Even though you're well capable of doing it, I'm not going to do it till someone forces me to. It's human nature. So let's stop with the daylight savings time. No one's saving this time. No one's like got a jar they put the savings time in. And stop saving the whales. I've run out of space in my closet already. So, I mean, like, what? You know, hey, one big whale, that closet is full. So let's stop saving stuff. Spend it. Just, you know, I'm not, what am I saving my daylight for? A rainy day? Please, come on, seriously, cut it out. But it's time to get confused. Nobody knows what time it is on when you make the change. And you're supposed to change the batteries in your smoke detector. I think that's the only reason for having this event, just to make sure that your smoke detectors are up to date. Other than that, I don't really see the point of changing the time like this. Arizona, you know that state? That's where if you have dry mouth, it's perfectly normal and acceptable. Arizona, I believe, is the state, I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Arizona is the state that isn't fooling around with time anymore. I mean, and they basically said, hey, we shouldn't be fooling around with time. This can get dangerous. You don't want to go back in time. You don't want to go forward in time, because then you're screwing up the time continuum and horrible things can happen. You could bump into yourself an hour later, that kind of thing. It's very, very scary. It's like a science fiction movie. So I don't mow the lawn anyway. I'm done mowing. I spent all of my life mowing. When I was a child, my father made me mow the lawn. He did not do it. He made me do it. He believed in child labor. So since I was able to push a mower, and back then you push them, they didn't go themselves. They pushed them. Back then, there was a pushing mower, and I had to do that. And that was my job since I was like 12 or 13 years old. And then as a young adult, I mowed the lawn. As a middle-aged adult, I mow the lawn. And now I'm grown to somewhere after that. And I said to myself, one day I got up and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I didn't. And it's been that way ever since. I think you have to do that every once in a while, you know. It was like shoveling. Oh, I lived in New York, and Rochester, New York, which is the snowiest place probably on the planet. Probably not, but it seemed like it was. Where the average amount of snowfall per winter in Rochester, New York, was about 150 inches of snow. I'm not kidding you. And I shoveled every one of those inches every single year for like 2-3 years. And then I moved to Massachusetts, and there was still snow here, and I had to shovel that crap. And a few years ago, I said to myself, no, I'm not mowing anymore, and I'm not shoveling anymore. Sex I'm still having, but the rest of that, no more. All right, fine. I think I'm a little too far with that example. I think too far on that. I wanted to talk about products now. I'm not a consumer product person. I'm not an influencer, although I can influence you to do things simply by manipulating you. I'm sorry. I can also manipulate myself quite easily. But I can actually manipulate you with the power of my mind. So, as a matter of fact, watch this. Huh? Right? Now you feel like doing something, don't you? I manipulated you. So I'm not a Consumer Report influencer. I don't influence people anymore. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. So I was watching a television commercial for a vacuum cleaner. And this person, I don't remember who it was. This person had this vacuum cleaner. I think it was a Shark vacuum cleaner because it was Shark Week. And it's not a gigantic vacuum cleaner, but it's not a small one, but it's apparently very, very good. And they were picking up stuff off of tiled floors, hardwood, carpet. It was just sucking everything up. Yeah, it was, and it was beautiful. And the person who was doing the vacuuming was like, "This is the best vacuum I've ever had." And that reminded me of something that is interesting that I think we all can agree upon. When you buy a vacuum cleaner, any size, any kind of vacuum cleaner, and you plug it in or battery, whatever, and you use it for the first time, it cleans amazingly. And you mutter the following sentence. Let's say it together. This is the best vacuum cleaner I've ever had. And then you can go as far as to say, as a second sentence out loud, you say, I wish I had this before. So you do that vacuum thing. And then it's wonderful, and you're very, very happy. And then a couple of days later, you pull out that vacuum cleaner again, and you vacuum the floor, and it's doing an incredible job. Not as good as the first time, but still incredible. And you say, this is the best vacuum I've ever had. The third time, it's good, but not as good. And you're realizing, I have to clean it out. I have to remove the little tray with the thing in it and throw that in the garbage and wash it and put it back in. Okay, I can do that. But look, there's hairs and all kinds of things around the brushes. I better pull them out of the brushes with my clean hands that are now very grubby and disgusting. That'll take me about half an hour. And then you vacuum again, and it's, okay, this is better, but it's nothing like the first time I vacuumed. I'd say around the 6th or 7th time that you pull out this vacuum cleaner, you say out loud, this vacuum cleaner sucks. You do, because it's never as good as when you first use it, because it's brand new. It's absolutely clean. It's never absolutely clean ever again. No, Ron. When I clean my vacuum cleaner, I clean it really well. No, you don't. And you know you don't. Don't lie to me. Don't you lie to me. And then you tell your friends because you're so frustrated. My vacuum cleaner really sucks. Oh, okay, Ron. Well, that's great. What do you mean it's great? No, it really sucks. Well, it's supposed to suck. It's a vacuum cleaner. No, what I mean is it sucks that it doesn't suck. What? My vacuum cleaner doesn't suck, but that sucks. Now it sucks that it doesn't suck. You're confusing me with your suck reference. Does it suck or does it not suck? Both of them. Let's do an Abbott and Costello routine right now. Who's on first? Does it suck? Who's on second? They both suck. It sucks that it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck, and that sucks. Okay. There's another item that we all are familiar with that doesn't seem to work either, and that's the frying pan. It's the Teflon pan. Now, we've reached a new level of Teflon pans now. We don't call them Teflon pans anymore. We call them, what, everybody together? Non-stick. They don't stick. They don't stick. They're non-stick. It's non-stick, not stick, non-stick. It doesn't stick? No, non. And now there's a PFOA. I think that's the initials. I don't know what it stands for other than toxic. It's illegal in this country to have non-stick Teflon pans with the PFOA or the POTR or the PTA or the NAA. I don't know what it is. I don't know I don't know. But it's illegal. So you can have now the PSA, which is public service now. So you're going to have something, but not the other one. So there's still Teflon, but not as Teflon bad as it used to be. It still is bad, but not so bad. It is toxic, but not that toxic. Oh, okay. And then there's the ceramic. Are you still listening? You still watching this? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It really is. Now there's the ceramic pan, which instead of putting a coating in there, the ceramics is basically just sand that's hard pressed into the pan. So there's no toxic chemicals being sprayed in at all. So ceramic is the way to go, apparently. It's a fairly new method of cooking of a pan. It's been around, but now it's getting popular because it doesn't have the POCs and the PFAs and the picotoes and the T-voltates. So I bought a ceramic pan recently, and I love it. And I go, here we go. I'm saying now out loud that I love it. Come on everybody, it's the best pan I've ever had. I wish I've always had this pan. So I bought the thing. I followed the instructions because you can't just use the pan. You have to prepare it in the proper way. You have to run hot water in it or heat it up a little bit. Never use a metal utensil. Don't use a scouring pad, dishwasher. I don't know what you're supposed to do to clean it. It's just a sponge. It's a sponge, just a sponge. And everything comes right out. You rinse it with a sponge and that's it. So I said, this is ridiculous, but I bought the pan because it sounded so good. I used it. The food just slipped out of the pan. All I did was tilt the pan and the food just says, I'm out of here. And the pan is beautiful. It's beautiful. I used it the first time and I was elated. I mean, elated. Then I used it first time I used it to fry some eggs. The eggs just left the pan nicely. Second time, I think I was, I did some chicken. I did some chicken. I was doing a chicken parmesan. I took these thin sliced chicken, and I dipped it in flour, wheat flour, by the way, a lot healthier. I dipped it in flour and then into an egg wash, which is just a beaten egg, and then into breadcrumbs, and I use panko because they're lower in calorie and a lot more healthy for you. And then I took some olive oil, and I put it in my new ceramic pan, and I waited till it was sizzling a bit, and then I put these chicken fillets in there all gussied up. And I did about 3 minutes on each side. And then came the test. Are these chicken fillets going to come out of there? They've been dipped in egg and flour and all that stuff and breadcrumbs and oil. And you know what? They came out so clean. They came right out. All I had to do was tilt the pan and those fillets were on their way. And I did say out loud, this pan is wonderful. Put the fillets in the oven, by the way, for about 20 minutes to make sure that they're cooked. Always double check your chicken and make sure it's cooked properly. Then I used it a third time. Now, I am right now on a honeymoon with my ceramic frying pan. So far, things are great, but I know from experience, because I've had ceramic pans before, this honeymoon is going to be over someday. Something's going to happen, and they're going to start sticking. The non-stick, the non-part will go away, and the stick part will become prominent. I know that's going to happen because I've been here before. It's not my first rodeo. And I mean that literally. I was at a rodeo once, and boy, was that annoying. I'm not into rodeos. I'm not the cowboy type. I don't enjoy watching human beings fall off of animals onto the ground and then get stampeded. There is a bit of delight in it, but you're not supposed to like that. And then they have a rodeo clown. Oh my God. Who grows up and wants to be a rodeo clown? Did you ever meet a kid? You know, what do you want to be when you grow up, kid? I want to be a rodeo clown. What? What do you mean? I want to put makeup on my face and an orange wig like Trump, and then I want to run into the middle of a arena with charging animals coming right at me trying to kill me while I'm clowning around. Whoa, that sounds like a real great profession. But people do that. And of course, to be a rodeo clown, you have to be really agile and really quick on your feet and really funny with the squirt bottle. I don't understand. I don't know. That's one occupation I do not understand at all. So didn't enjoy the rodeo. I did not. I do enjoy the running of the bulls. They have that on television. once a year. You have to go find it. I think it's only on YouTube or something. But it's fascinating because you have these macho men who are pretty much admitting that that there's something seriously wrong with them. And these macho men, who are usually no larger than maybe 5 feet tall, they go running down through the streets of Spain somewhere, or wherever. And then they release the bulls, and they say to the bulls, "Go kill them! Go kill them!" And the bulls chase after these people running down the street. It's so funny. It is so funny. And the great thing is, if one of these people, these guys running away from the bulls to show how macho they are, if one of them gets like speared in the ass and tossed around and totally annihilated, my reaction is like, whoa, this is cool. Because they are so stupid. It's like taking a yellow highlight marker and underlying stupidity with the guy's picture there. It's just so stupid. I can't imagine a guy saying to his girlfriend or wife, I'm gonna run with the bulls. I may not come home, at least not with my ass, and I could get gouged and die. Otherwise, I'll be home by 6. Okay, have a good time. Seriously? And do people actually say to these macho men running down the street being chased by a bull that's trying to kill them, do they actually say to other people, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what I'm doing? Hey, guess what I'm doing on Thursday? Hey, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to be running with the bulls. Bull's going to run down the street and try to kill me. Guess what I'm doing on Thursday? That's what I'm doing. Wow. You are really either incredible or the biggest idiot I've ever met in my life. I'm going to go with the idiot. Okay, guess what I'm doing? Oh, my God. The running of the bulls. Oh. I love to see the animal kingdom get even, with all the crap we do to these animals. I'd like to see them get even. I think it's just proper. And to get gouged in the ass is just doubly wonderful. It takes their macho right away from them. Yeah, you can't be macho and have a sore ass. It just kind of doesn't make sense. I don't think. I don't. That's just me. So anyway, the last 6 minutes that I have with you, not on the planet, but just for this show, I wanted to talk about a phenomenon that's occurring, and I think I'll be talking about it in the near future as well. Prices are starting to come down in the supermarket. Let me say, before we get started here, that the only people to blame for high prices are the companies that manufacture the products. Has nothing to do with the government. Has nothing to do with interest rates. The government is not supposed to interfere in those things. Not in a democracy. So don't blame the government for high prices. And don't praise them for low prices necessarily either. These are the companies that do this. And unless you regulate every company, which we're not supposed to do, they're going to mark their own territory, these companies. So if you're paying high food prices for some item, blame the company that makes the item. And I'll talk about that on a future show. Companies, if they had half of a brain and wanted to make $1 zillion, all they had to do is lower their prices, advertise that we have lowered our price, and you will see your product fly off the shelves. And that's an economic type of equation. If you have incredibly high volume of sales at a little bit lower price, you'll blow the doors off of the market. if you don't sell too many things at a higher price, you'll go bankrupt or just stay the way you are. But companies aren't that smart. But if they were, there was one company that said, Coca-Cola said, for example, and I don't drink that shit, but stuff, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If Coca-Cola said, we're lowering the price of our product by 25% starting Thursday, do you know what would happen? There'll be no more Coca-Cola on the shelves. They'd be gone. If everybody knew that, oh my God, I'm buying that now. That's all any company has to do. You'll sell more of your product than you can make. But are they that smart? No, they're not. If consumers are just concerned about pricing and they like their product and you lower the price, you will be a billion, zillion, fillionaire. But do they do that? No, they don't. Sure, Wendy's takes a chance with making variable prices based on what time of day it is and how busy it is. They take that chance. How about lowering the price of your burgers, baby, all the time and advertise Wendy's burgers, the square ones, are lower in price now. We've lowered the price back to the price in 1990. There would be a line around the block, a literal line around the block at Wendy's. And I don't know what block Wendy is on. Look, I don't know if these companies are listening to this program. I'm sure they're not. I don't even think you are. But I'm telling you, that's the magic bullet. And why companies don't just lower their prices. And they say, well, Ron, we can't afford to do that. I mean, we'd like to lower the prices, but to bottle the Coca-Cola, the bottles cost more. Wages, we have to pay more in wages. That cost goes up. We have to pass it on to the consumer. We'd go out of business. No, you wouldn't. You'd sell more of them. You'd triple your sales if you lowered the price. But do you do what Ron suggests? No. He's just a poor, schmucky talk show host. He doesn't know anything. Lower the prices? Ha! Impossible. Is there a company that's bold enough to give that a shot? I'm waiting. You're waiting. In a similar sense, is there a company that's bold enough to hire more people in customer service so that when you call a place on the telephone to speak to a person like a real person with a voice, not an AI robot, and you call and an actual person answers the phone and says, can you hold on? Why, sure I can. You asked me to and you're a person, you bet I will. That's all it takes. Then you're rated number one for customer service and people buy your product. If everything's the same price, they'll buy your product because your customer service is better. When you called, they actually handled you immediately. Well, we have very high call volume. Your wait time could be half an hour. What? No, I don't think so. That's how much you value, and we value you as a customer. Stop it. Just stop it. Cut it out. Stop it. So who wants to take the challenge? What business out there listening to this wants to take the challenge and lower their price? You have to let everybody know that you've lowered your price. There's a little bit of a cost in marketing there. But the ramifications and the results will be incredible. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I think I'm right. All right, kids, I'm out of time for today. I'll be back again next week probably, at which time we'll continue our conversations. But until then, join me at newenglandbroadcasting.com or ronvandam.com, and you can listen to the daily radio program any time of day because it's a podcast kind of thing now. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you peace.